According to tradition, this is the very location where Jesus died and was buried.
But this is also a place of mystery, because as sacred as this structure is, nothing that you see here today existed in the time of Jesus.
Minutes ago, Josh Gates had to be rushed out following a terrifying discovery at the site where it is believed Jesus was crucified. Within the ancient walls of this revered church, a secret was uncovered, hidden for centuries, potent enough to shake the very foundations of faith. This excavation delves deep into the eerie echoes of the past, uncovering layers that have remained untouched through millennia. Tune in as we explore what lethal god forced Josh Gates to evacuate immediately. Exploring the historical depths beneath Jerusalem's church. The church exudes a breathtaking aura, transforming the very air into something almost sacred upon entering. Despite its holy significance, the structure as it stands today did not exist during the time of Jesus, cloaking the site in layers of mystery. But hidden within its old stones is a secret so powerful it could change everything we know about faith, one that has been kept quiet for centuries. The site where Jesus was believed to have been crucified is now considered an ancient burial site, filled with relics from the Knights Templar. The thought of exploring these historical and eerie discoveries is exciting. Beneath the floor of the church, a site known as Crucifixion Hill remains concealed from plain sight. Here, visitors have the rare opportunity to touch the stone that is thought to mark the precise location where Jesus was crucified. During his explorations, he stumbled upon a remarkable discovery at this sacred site. The exploration delves deep into the chilling specifics of his findings, set against the backdrop of Jerusalem's profound historical tapestry. Underneath the surface, they found 3 crosses. Even more amazing, this place also holds the oldest known version of the 10 Commandments. While most of the text matches later versions, there are a few small differences. He began his journey in Jerusalem following in the footsteps of Jesus to uncover the truths hidden in this holy city. His first stop was the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is considered the most sacred Christian site in the world.
Today, the top of the Crucifixion Hill is under the floor of the church. One can also place their hands on the stone where Jesus' body was laid out.
It's believed to be the very place where Jesus was crucified and buried. The church itself is awe-inspiring, drawing people in with its beauty. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The hill where Jesus was crucified is now beneath the church floor. Visitors can still touch the stone believed to have held Jesus' body. Not far from this spot is the tomb where he was supposedly laid to rest for 3 days before his resurrection. Despite all the changes over time, this site remains a powerful symbol of faith and history, representing the deep stories of the past. In 2016, a major excavation took place, uncovering parts of the church's tomb that had been hidden for centuries. This tomb is believed to be the resting place of Jesus Christ, located in Jerusalem's Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This site is one of the holiest places for Christians, but years of wear and tear raised concerns about whether the location was authentic. A team of scientists and restoration experts took on the challenge to investigate, but they only had 60 hours to complete their work, adding pressure to the project as they worked against the clock. As they removed the layers of marble and limestone that had covered the tomb for generations, they found pieces rich in history. The first layer they uncovered was from the time of the Crusaders, but beneath that, they found a second layer that dated back to the 4th century, during the reign of Emperor Constantine. This layer was marked with a cross, showing that Christians had been marking this site as Jesus' burial place for a very long time. For historians and religious scholars, these findings were a huge breakthrough. They suggested that even though the city of Jerusalem has been destroyed and rebuilt many times, the location of the tomb had stayed the same. The marble from the Crusader era also showed how the site had remained important to Christians for centuries. But this wasn't the most surprising part. For many Christians, these excavations gave even stronger proof of their belief in the resurrection. Finding the burial site buried under so many layers of history felt to some like divine confirmation that early Christians had chosen the right place for Jesus' tomb. This discovery has breathed new life into the spiritual and historical connection Christians have with their faith, linking them more deeply to the biblical events that are central to their beliefs. Faith plays a huge role for many people who visit the Church of the Holy Sepulchre each year. In 2016, a major dig at this site gave experts a unique chance to learn more about ancient burial customs and the religious practices that grew around this special place. Over the centuries, the tomb has been changed and rebuilt many times, which helped researchers study the building styles of different periods, like the Byzantine, Crusader, and Ottoman times. The team found ancient objects and old materials that connected them directly to the past. These discoveries helped them figure out how old each layer of the tomb was, giving a clearer view of how the church had changed over time. The excavation revealed that the site had been carefully kept up through the years, with each layer capturing a moment in history, showing the deep religious and cultural heritage of Jerusalem. Next, we search for hidden Templar treasures in an old, mysterious tower. The quest for Templar treasures in a mysterious tower. One of the big finds from 2016 was proof of the role Emperor Constantine and his mother Helena played in identifying the tomb. Historical writings suggest that Helena traveled to Jerusalem in the 4th century AD, found this spot as the place where Jesus was crucified and buried, and shortly after the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was built, making it a key spot for Christian pilgrims.
I'm standing in the holiest site in the Christianity, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which in our mother tongue language, we call it the Church of Al-Qiyamah, which means the resurrection.
But that wasn't the only discovery. Driven by their curiosity, he and his team moved on to explore a site linked to the Knights Templar. Here they found a tower that was oddly sealed off with no clear way to get inside. The only clue was a cable coming from the roof, hinting at some hidden entrance. He and his team couldn't help but imagine what might be inside, perhaps even treasures from the Templars. As they climbed a nearby tower, which did have stairs, they noticed Templar crosses and the unique design of the brick steps, which had been there for almost 1,000 years. When they reached the roof, he got ready to lower himself into the sealed tower. The excitement grew as they descended, finding more Templar symbols and admiring the skill it took to build the original staircase. With each step, the narrow and long path added to the thrill of uncovering the mysteries of the past. But the most exciting part was still ahead as they ventured even deeper into the unknown. The floors and walls were completely empty. He noticed some loose bricks, but nothing seemed special except for a strange shape on the wall that looked like a bat. He smiled and muttered an apology to what he assumed was just his imagination, then kept moving. At the next spot, he found more loose bricks, but still nothing of importance. Going deeper, he said aloud. This particular area was deeper than the others, but he couldn't investigate further without risking damage to the old structure. So they decided to stop to preserve the site. After carefully looking around, he went back to the team waiting below. Even though the area was covered in ancient dust, their exploration led to a new discovery about the building that no one had documented before. Later, Janet's group would decide what to do next with their research on the tower. Just as things were settling down, he was called outside. The team had found something even more exciting, a strange wall that suggested there could be a grave nearby. The dark and mysterious area grabbed their attention, sparking curiosity about what more they might find. Looking closely at the soil, they noticed that the color was different between two sections, hinting that something had been buried there a long time ago. The direction of the grave, running from east to west, lined up with how Templar graves were traditionally arranged, and the team's excitement grew. This could be an important clue in their search for answers about the mysterious Templars. One of the team members spotted an old piece of metal. That meant the coin they found could be about 700 years old, a fascinating discovery that could help them learn more about the Templars. As they dug deeper, they found a coin and a bone, both believed to be from the 14th or 15th century. The team was thrilled as these items could hold the key to understanding the history of the Templars. The body was lying with its head facing west, but the face was turned east towards the Holy Land, which was common for Templar burials. But this wasn't the most significant part. The position of the body and the artifacts found with it suggested that this was a very important person, likely from the Templar period. The remains were in good condition, and the valuable objects buried alongside them hinted at someone of high status. The discovery of the grave was a major moment for the team. Everything pointed to the idea that this was the final resting place of someone significant, possibly a Templar knight, marked by their carefully arranged burial and the precious relics found with them. The skull, in remarkable condition, showcases an intriguing feature: its teeth. The upper teeth, though somewhat obscured, contrast with the lower set, which remains nearly pristine. This preservation hints at the person's healthy diet. Historically, the state of one's teeth in burials often mirrored their social status, as wealthier individuals typically enjoyed superior nutrition that promoted dental health. It could be suggested that the individual laid to rest here was possibly a member of the Templar Knights. A telling hint lies in the positioning of the arms. Templars were frequently interred with their arms crossed over their chest, and this particular burial exhibits that trait, notably with the right arm arranged in such a manner. What makes this grave even more interesting is that it seems to contain more than one person. There may be 2 or even 3 people buried in layers, one on top of the other. This kind of burial was not unusual in the Middle Ages. People were often buried without clear records, and over time, new burials would sometimes overlap with older ones if there were no markers to keep track of the exact spots.
Another burial. That's 3 in this pit. Oh my word, look at that. So we have burial upon burial upon burial here. This is truly incredible. Every pile of dirt that you move reveals more of this person, maybe this Templar, we don't know. But more of their story is revealed with every handful of dirt.
The most astonishing aspect was yet to come. With every new layer unearthed, more captivating fragments of the story emerged. One of the team members, he, grew increasingly enthusiastic with each discovery. He observed more remains surfacing one after another, as if history itself was being excavated from the depths of the earth. The notion that their final resting place was far simpler than one might expect added a layer of intrigue to the discovery. Now let's see how the Templars protected pilgrims and started early banking. From holy protectors to banking innovators, the Templars are often envisioned as gallant knights clad in gleaming armor, yet the scene before one's eyes paints a distinct tale. These individuals were primarily monks, and the simplicity of their graves spoke volumes of their modest existence. At times, there might be lighthearted comments about unearthing a hidden grail. Though such myths stir the imagination, the true riches lie in revealing the lives and narratives of these figures. But this wasn't the only surprise. He then reminded us of how important the Templars were in history. They were formed in the early 12th century, originally to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. Over time, they became a powerful military force known for their strict discipline and courage. They weren't just warriors, they also helped create early banking systems, managing fortresses and offering financial services. However, their success led to envy, and by 1312 they were officially disbanded. His influence keeps growing, drawing in more people with his stories about hidden treasures and forgotten rituals. His recent success in finding the final resting place of the Templar Knights was a big achievement. But his hunger for discovery hasn't been satisfied. Now he's focusing on cracking the codes from the German Enigma machine that confused many during World War II. His next adventure is even more thrilling as he sets out to find Nazi artifacts. This journey leads him to the ruins of a fortress, destroyed during the violent battles of World War II. Walking through the remains of a city that was once full of life but now lies in ruins, he reflects on the history surrounding him. As his team digs through underground bunkers, they uncover a treasure trove of military relics, offering a glimpse into the past. They find helmets, gas masks, and equipment used to generate high voltage, hinting that this could have been an important command center. When they discover partially burned documents filled with coded messages, excitement grows. Every room they search and every item they find reveals more about the importance of their discoveries. But this wasn't even the most surprising part. As they dig deeper, they find rooms filled with personal items.
God, we got more chambers down here. Look at this. Oh my God. We've got bottles, coffee cups, lamps, cooking pots. You could just imagine a soldier.
Bottles, coffee cups, and cooking utensils. These everyday objects give them a look into the lives of the soldiers who once lived there. The unique non-magnetic gas masks they find suggest there might have been a radio station nearby, adding another layer of mystery to the site. Among the items, they also come across burnt pages with encrypted text, possibly created by an Enigma machine, a device that turned simple messages into codes during the war. As the team uncovers more, they feel an even stronger connection to the people who once lived in this place. With each new find, they not only discover more about the past, but also gain a deeper understanding of the human stories behind these artifacts. Through these explorations, he is not just solving historical puzzles, but also connecting the present with the experiences of those who lived through these events, giving us a clearer picture of how history still shapes our world today. When the images aren't set up properly, they appear scrambled, almost like they've been jumbled up by a code breaker. These images seem tied to something big, maybe even the famous Enigma machine connected to a fortress in Poland. The story kicks off at a fortress destroyed by the Soviets during World War II. What was once a bustling city is now reduced to flat, empty lands with abandoned roads and crumbling buildings. Here, he and his team, along with Oliver, their translator, find clues suggesting this place was once a key military center, possibly used by high-ranking officers toward the end of the battle for Berlin. They also uncover old war artifacts, things like military equipment, kitchen tools, and even devices likely used to power communication radios. As they dig deeper, they come across burned papers, maybe from coding machines, hinting at encrypted messages that played a major role in Nazi strategies. Oliver manages to read a bit from these charred papers, revealing vague mentions of prisoner camps, top officials, and incoming military supplies. It paints a clearer picture of how this fortress played a role in wartime operations involving prisoners and critical resources. One term that stands out is Siegsgongen, along with Lager, which seems to point to known prison camps like Stalag. As they continue to explore, they find references to Thayang Elites, another prison camp close by. These camps are connected to high-ranking military orders and a field post near a detention center. It's becoming clear to his team that this fortress was more than just a defense site. It was part of something much bigger. But this wasn't the end of their journey. The team then heads to the highlands of Colombia, chasing the legend of El Dorado, the mythical city of gold. Their new expedition leads them deep into the Colombian mountains, where they aim to uncover the truth behind a tale that has drawn explorers for centuries. As they trek through dense forests and rugged paths, they face harsh weather, scorching heat and heavy humidity, pushing their physical limits. The journey to understand the El Dorado legend isn't easy. It's filled with both physical challenges and layers of history to unravel. As he reflects on the past linked to El Dorado, he realizes that the quest for this golden city has not only sparked exploration, but also brought about greed, exploitation, and destruction. Yet, despite the heavy history, the team remains determined to sift through myth and reality. The road ahead is tough, steep climbs, unpredictable weather, but their drive to connect the past with the truth keeps them going. Brian had barely escaped a dangerous fall. He rushed over to help. Brian was stuck in the vines, which had luckily saved him from a serious accident. This close call reminded everyone how risky their journey through the jungle really was. As they moved on, they reached a river that had swollen from recent rains, making it hard to cross. He warned the team about the danger. The fast-moving water almost carried him away, but with teamwork, they all got across. But then disaster hit. Dave, their field producer, got swept away by the strong current. With a lot of effort, they pulled him back to safety, narrowly avoiding a terrible accident. But that wasn't the worst part. Despite the close calls, he stayed positive. With their GPS and the help of their local guides, they knew they were walking the same paths the ancient Torona civilization had once traveled. Curious, they cleared away some thick plants and uncovered a wall. It was part of a lost Torona city. Among the ruins, they found ceramic artifacts, proof that this place had once been a busy town. We've uncovered incredible secrets beneath Jerusalem's Church of the Holy Sepulchre, but could there be even more profound mysteries yet to be revealed? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more intriguing historical mysteries.